The face of a happy child. That's what you see in an image such as this. The backstory of this image couldn't be any sadder. Today we're going to take a look at the short yet horrific life of New Zealand toddler Ngatikaura Ngati. Now I'd just like to make a quick trigger warning that today's video is incredibly sad and incredibly horrific to listen to. So trigger warning for heavy child abuse and child death. There will also be a warning before I describe some things, so I'll post timestamps for when that does happen. Now, speaking from the heart, I've never seen a more disgusting and more disturbing case of death by child abuse, such as Ngatikaura Ngati's death. In 2006, this happy, smiling child died at the hands of two horrific child abusers. The images of this child's abused body were released to the public by the courts, causing a huge stir in the public. Ngatikaura came from a foster family, and these pictures were clearly released with no respect for Ngatikaura's foster family. These were the people who looked after him until his mother requested her son back, when Ngatikaura would be abused heavily for 3 months until his death, after returning to his biological mother, passing away at just 4 years old at the hands of Main Annabella Ngati and Tusila Fasasila. I'll now be explaining some graphic imagery. If you don't want to hear about these details, then I will be posting a timestamp down below, along with a 5-second countdown, starting now. The young boy's body is covered head to toe in dark purple bruises. Some of the wounds are weeping sores, with one the size of a man's hand across his bottom. The sores line both of his arms and legs. This is constant, non-stop child abuse. Another photograph includes a picture of the young boy's mouth. His gums are red, bleeding and sore. No teeth are present. The mouth is almost entirely a hole full of gore. It looks like eating or drinking would be either impossible or incredibly painful. The boy was also beaten with weapons, including a baseball bat and an oar. He would be punched in the face, hit with a stick, and hit on the head whenever his mother thought that he had been naughty. The violence towards this boy was so brutal that there were even bloodstains on the ceiling of the house that the boy was murdered in. Now, the two responsible for this death weren't even put on a murder charge. It was a manslaughter charge, in which they were charged with failing to provide the child with medical care and the willful ill treatment of a child, which in turn they were only given 8 years each in prison, and that was back in 2007, so they're probably out now. Now, Main even gave birth to another child while in prison, but thankfully that child was placed in foster care. But you've got to ask yourself, why were these autopsy pictures released to the public? Well, the judge in charge of the case would allow these pictures to be released to the public to make other people aware of their family members possibly hurting other people in families. Now, before I go on to this next part, I will say that there is absolutely no evidence here, however it has been documented. The photos had quite the opposite of awareness, as these photos just ended up on numerous shock sites that included porn, necrophilia and gore. Now, the site in question wasn't actually named on the article that I found this little bit from, but according to this article, Ngatikaura's autopsy pictures were posted in a hardcore pornography section on this website, with some users even finding the content, including Ngatikaura's autopsy pictures, sexually arousing. Now, is this something that I can agree with the court doing? Absolutely not. You see, aside from the lack of privacy towards the foster family who once adopted this little boy, there was absolutely no respect given to this poor little boy whatsoever. The only little bit of dignity that this little boy got from the law and from the court was a small black sensor covering his genitalia before the pictures were released to the public. I refuse to believe that 8 years is a good enough sentence for these people, and that 8 years is an incredibly short stint for the death of a 4-year-old boy in this manner. And there were calls to stop these images being leaked, which obviously never happened. It's unbelievable that the law higher-ups thought that this would have some positive effect on raising awareness on child abuse. All it did was cause upset and put this poor little boy in a spotlight that he never deserved to be in, such as the fucking shock sites. It's unbelievable. It really is a case that makes me just feel sick. It's a sickening case. Everything about it is disgusting. From the case itself, the autopsy pictures being released, one guy in a fucking chair being allowed to say, yeah, release these pictures. It's just a horrible case overall. I would say that I hope this boy gets justice one day, but no amount of justice can fix what these two disgusting human beings did to this boy, and what the law also did to this boy's pictures. And with that, I think I've said enough about this case. Thank you guys ever so much for watching. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.